What is up, everybody? This is All Things Entertaining here, bringing you with a brand new video. And over the past couple of hours, Konami has decided to drop the TCG Premier cards for the Megatins in the middle of our World Championship Series, which is kind of interesting. This is quite a bombshell, considering the fact that these three cards, I think, are really competitively viable. So let's just go and see what happens. Let's just see what these cards do. So the first card here, we got Dark Ruler No More. It's a normal spell card. Negate the effect of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. Also, for the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, your opponent takes no damage. Neither player can activate monster or effects in response to this activation. That's nuts. That's absolutely insane. Having a one-turn Flaggate, sure, it's a normal spell, but that generally doesn't matter, especially considering the fact that if your opponent is playing cards like, Pendulum Magicians, it forces them to negate it. They have no choice but to negate this, or else their opponent can just do whatever they want freely. This is actually kind of insane. It kind of by itself makes the turn 2, makes it going second against Pendulum Magicians a lot less terrible for you. So this is great. I think this is going to be a really good card for going into the meta. It's going to be side decked a lot. I predicted that in anti-spell and Dimensional Barrier at this point. So this is going to be very good card. Next, we have actually another decent card. This is Niburu, the Primal Being. It's a level 11 light rock effect monster with 3000 attack and 600 defense. That doesn't matter. During the main phase, if your opponent's normal or special summons 5 or more monsters this turn, quick effect, you contribute as many face-up monsters as possible, and if you special summon this card from your hand, then special summon one Primal Being token, rock, light, level 11, question mark attack and defense, to your opponent's field. The token's attack and defense become the combined original attack of the attributed monster's attack and defense. So this card tracks how many cards your opponent summons in a turn, which is likely going to be more than normal. This card is actually really bad against your Dracos because they only summon like maybe 2-3 monsters at a time. However, against the majority of the decks out there, against like Orcus and Pendulum Magicians, you can summon this card for almost nothing. Also, you can easily just time this to where if your opponent is about to go into their game-breaking board, like if, for example, if your opponent's going into Pendulum Magicians, they summon out their Cerberus, they go into Electromite, that's like 3 summons, and then they go into other summons in the future. You could time it to where the attack of the token is as less as possible, and it could just by itself just interrupt whatever your opponent is doing. This card is going to be very good going into the meta. It also doesn't trigger the Thunder Dragon extra deck monsters protection effects, so they can easily be run over with this card. And against Orcus, it can break their Dingirsu stuff, and destroying the token probably won't be that hard. Sure, it might get big a lot of the time, but it's not protected by anything, so you have the free reign to pretty much do whatever you want. And this card has 3000 attack, and it's a light monster, so that is a factor that we have to consider. And the last card is Dimension Shifter. This one's actually a very simple card. It is a level 6 Dark Spellcaster effect monster with 1200 attack and 2200 defense. If you have no cards in your graveyard, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard until the end of the next turn. Any cards sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Now, this card is very bad against Thunder Dragons. However, this card is really good against Pendulum Magicians, because when Pendulum Magicians try to do their full combo again, you can just easily kind of just either bait this with a Call by the Grave if they're playing that card, which usually typically they're not, or they have to send pretty much every single Pendulum monster that they ever summon into the banish zone, because the ruling is that if a Pendulum monster is sent to the extra deck, it has to go to the graveyard first technically, then goes to the extra deck, so it gets banished instead. This is going to be a very good card. Having a Floodgate Blanket hand trap like this for turn 1 plays is really interesting, especially this makes both this card and the new spell make the Pendulum Magician matchup so much easier if you're going second against that deck, because that deck usually wins turn 1 So it's kind of interesting to see what they're going to do with this card. All three of these cards are absolutely incredible. They're absolutely meta viable. I think they're going to be meta viable for a long time. As the future progresses, these cards are just going to get more and more powerful and better over time. So I would definitely have playsets of all three of these. Just buy 310s and you have them, and just have them in your side decks. Just have them in your personal collection. So yeah, these cards are really fantastic. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'll see you later. Bye.